By using the feature multiple acquisitions, you can significantly improve the statistics of your measurements. An 11 position measurement, for example, which already gives you a good statistics, is strengthened by this feature. How does it work? The feature multiple acquisitions can be used to automatically perform a predetermined number of experiments, leading to more data and robust statistics. There's no difference whether you perform a size measurement or a zeta potential measurement. Furthermore, it does not matter whether the measurement is carried out in scatter or in fluorescence mode. The time interval between the experiments and the subvolume dosing can be controlled as well by the multiple acquisition feature. First, let's look at the situation when the feature multiple acquisitions is turned off. With the current settings, the ZetaView instrument measures the size and the concentration of our sample in each of the 11 positions. After the measurement has taken place, the software provides a text file and a PDF report for the measurement. Now, let's look at the following examples of how the multiple acquisition feature can be used. We activate the multiple acquisitions function and enter 3 numbers of experiments. The parameters from the previous experiment remain the same. With these settings, the ZetaView device performs 3 independent experiments. In each experiment, the instrument measures our sample in each of the 11 positions. In addition, the progress bar at the bottom right shows which experiment is currently being measured. After each completed measurement, the current graph is displayed overlaid with the one from the previous measurement. At the end, we get a separate PDF report and text file for each experiment with the ending 000, 001 and 002. We keep all parameters as they are and set the time delay to ½ minute. However, lower or larger values such as 1, 2 or 10 minutes can also be set. Now, with these settings, the ZetaView device performs 3 independent experiments again. In each experiment, the instrument measures our sample in each of the 11 positions and the device pauses for 30 seconds between each experiment. The pause between 2 experiments is shown in the progress bar at the bottom right. With these settings, you can automatically measure kinetics very easily and determine whether the sample in the measuring cell changes in size or concentration over time. A time-dependent agglomeration or disintegration into small particles over time can thus be recognized based on a shift in the size distribution or a change in the particle concentration. Now, let's add a pump step to these settings. Here, you can activate the function dose subvolume and choose which of the internal pumps to use. If an external pump is connected, it will be displayed as pump 3. You should always choose the pump that delivers the buffer or liquid that also serves as solvent for your particles. Again, the ZetaView device performs 3 independent experiments. In each experiment, the instrument measures our sample in each of the 11 positions and the device pauses for ½ minute between each experiment. At the end of the pause and before the next experiment is started, the pump moves the already measured particles of the sample out of the field of view. At the same time, new particles of the same sample are moved in, so that the completely new subvolume of the same sample can be measured in the next experiment. The moved subvolume is larger than the liquid volume in the field of view. This prevents the same particles from being measured in two consecutive experiments. In this way, independent measurements of new particles in the same sample can be carried out completely automatically. Again, 3 separate PDF reports and text files are saved for each experiment. The multiple acquisition feature can also be used in combination with the low bleach function. This is particularly advisable if fluorescent particles are to be measured and bleaching of the fluorescence dye is to be reduced. If you activate the low bleach function, you can determine the volume of the sample that is moved through the cell before starting the first experiment. This ensures that when the first measurement is started, only particles are present in the field of view that were not yet exposed by the laser before the measurement. So only particles are detected that are not bleached. Again, in this example, the ZetaView device performs 3 independent experiments. Just before starting the first experiment, the pump moves potentially bleached particles of the sample out of the field of view and new unbleached particles into the field of view. In this example, the dispensed sample volume is 30 microliters. In each experiment, the instrument measures our sample in each of the 11 positions and the device pauses for half a minute between each experiment. At the end of the pause and before the next experiment is started, the pump moves the particles already measured in the sample by 30 microliters out of the field of view and new unbleached particles into the field of view. Please note that bleaching of the fluorescent dye cannot be prevented in this way, but it can be significantly reduced. With the multiple acquisition feature, you can therefore comfortably measure technical replicates because you can take independent measurements of the sample. You can measure kinetics to determine how your particles behave over time. And you can reduce potential bleaching of fluorescently labeled particles as new and unbleached sample particles are automatically moved into the field of view with each new experiment.
It's easy peasy.